Hey, everybody. I just want to, before we get started, I want to thank my friends over at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. My husband, he loves me because one day I am on fire hot.
I'm on fire!
Okay. It's all right, you're not on fire!
I knew it, you're lying! I'm fire!
There is no fire!
And so I turn the AC on, and then the next day, it's a little chilly out.
I am freezing. Why is it getting so cold?
It's rainy. Then I turn the furnace on and I go back and forth. And this actually happens all year long. Call it menopause. I don't know what is going on with my body, but I know that I like to be comfortable temperature wise. That's why I have on speed dial my friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They're the triple threat. Family owned and operated, locally owned and operated, veteran owned and operated. Right now, they have got a great special going on. It's their spring tune-up sale where they will come in, they will change filters, they will check all the sensors, they will make sure your air conditioning unit is running like a top. Because you may be thinking, it turns on and it didn't work as well. It doesn't work as well as it did when we originally put it in, but that's just normal wear and tear. What if I told you odds are you're spending more money with an old unit because you're running it so hard? So if you want something brand new, they've got great incentives, great deals going on for a new AC unit. Or again, that $99 spring tune-up special. This is awesome. They'll come in and they'll make sure everything is running like a top. So you're not spending extra money. And also you're elongating the life of your air conditioning unit. Call my friends, or better yet, go online and see all the different things they have to offer. PolarBearPHA.com, PolarBearPHA.com. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air is a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
I'm going to say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
Wink and her necklace says best friends forever.
You sure you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense, but sometimes you grow apart. And maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
Hi, everybody. Thanks again for listening to today's episode of Sadie and Friends. I just want to remind everyone that there is now a website where I do blogging. Go to sadieandfriends.net. SadieandFriends.com was taken, and I think that's some sort of porno site. Ew! SadieandFriends.net. That's where you're going to find us. If you go to SadieandFriends.com, you'll probably find better content. But if you're going to look at what I'm talking about, again, SadieandFriends.net, where I do a lot of blogging. I've gotten really into writing stupid things. And what I find to be interesting articles that I just sit around and I think, hey, that's kind of strange, or I miss this and they don't do it anymore. Or, like the millions of things that you find interesting that you feel like no one talks about. That's why I'm here, because I talk about all those weird things. I just put up a blog that you can go and read. And again, not only on this website will you be able to read these blogs. There are full episodes of the podcast. There are shorts from the podcast. And then there are giveaways. We are doing some really good giveaways. And I'm not talking about the kind of giveaways where you get it and it is like a koozie. And like a tchotchke is not a giveaway. I'm talking about something that you would want, that you would be excited to get. I'm very excited to make that announcement. But for now, let's just jump right into the podcast. And I'm going to thank everybody again for listening and setting it to automatic download. And if you wouldn't mind maybe leaving a review, because that helps a lot. People are so cool. And when you leave a review, it's just good juju. And I appreciate it. So anyway, one of my first blogs that I wrote for SadieandFriends.net is titled How to Swallow Truths About Getting Older that no one talks about, like peeing in your pants at the age of 42. Not me, though, but someone else my age. What do you think of that title?
That someone peed in their pants?
Were you even paying attention?
I don't know. You were rambling on for a little bit.
Are you talking to me?
So
dare
I was off thinking of something else for a bit.
Ryan, in the podcasting biz, that's called doing a setup, brother. But thank you for listening. Let me read this title again of a blog that you can find that I wrote at sadieandfriends.net.
Yeah.
The title is Hard to Swallow, Truths About Getting Older That No One Talks About, like peeing your pants at the age of 42. Not me, though.
I don't think that's a common thing for 42
Someone,
year olds.
you didn't even let me get through the title.
Okay,
Let's
sorry.
do it again.
Shut up! It doesn't matter!
Hard to swallow truths about getting, I'm not going to make everyone listen to it again, but at the end it says like peeing your pants at the age of 42. Not me, though. You're missing the joke, or maybe it's just not a good joke where I'm saying, you know, sometimes as a woman, if you've had children, you know, you got to pee your pants.
Oh, okay. This is a female thing, not a male thing.
Yeah, no, dudes, I don't know. I don't know much about incontinence with guys.
No.
I just know those late night infomercials with the old football players. And they're like, I was going every 5 minutes at night.
Oh, are you talking about like the big T with like Frank Thomas and Doug?
Yes.
My favorite part of those commercials are when they go, and she'll like it too. And the girls over there kind of smile and blush towards each other, which is a scenario that's never happened.
Yeah, there's no, it just hasn't.
Have there ever been a time anywhere in your life?
Okay.
Let's just say college, you're younger and you're with a group of your girlfriends and the guys are like, and you'll like it too. And you all like flutter
look at each
and look at each other and smile.
Barf. No,
yeah, never happened.
But, you know, maybe we just didn't run with the cool kids.
No, that's
okay.
Never happened to anybody.
Well, here's the list that I wrote. Are you ready? Yeah. And I reflected on this. This is something that I've been wanting to get down in a blog because I've been thinking about it.
Sure.
I feel like I turned 40 and I was like, all right, just like Oprah said, this is when shit gets real and good. And, you know, it's like Stella got her groove back at 40.
Eat, pray, love.
Yeah. Like eat, pray, love. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to let go of all of my hangups and I'm just going to be so sure of myself. And I feel like at 40, I did not have a gentle landing. I hit the curb and I just kept sliding. And I find that 40 has been the hardest time in my life. And I'm so sad because I was excited for like a switch over, a change. And I also know that when things are hard, that's a learning lesson. And so, you know, you need to learn from it, but it's not even just that. It's the fact that going to the doctor after you turn 40 is a whole different ballgame. When you are at the age of anything under 40, you go in and they're like, right, can you touch your toes? Can you follow my hand? Can you look up and down? Let me just look in your throat and you're great. We'll see you next year. Here's a flu shot. And I was shocked going when I turned 40 because they're like, all right, bitch, it's going downhill from here. This is where it gets real. In a couple of years, you need a colonoscopy. I had to get a mammogram. You know, before you get one of those gentle lump checks where the doctor has soft hands, maybe they're cold a little. And then he works his way around your boobie gently. No, when you turn 40, they got a machine that squishes it like it's a pancake. It's insanity. So anyway.
So this episode's about just for the females, right? Like this episode's not for the
Well,
males.
I'm going to go through this blog that I wrote. I made a list of things that young people need to know about because 40 is coming.
Don't preach. They don't care. Young people don't care.
I don't really think what?
Did you care about any of this stuff when you were before 40? When you were 31, you're like, I'll deal with that. Then don't talk to me.
I would agree. But what I'm saying is I think there will also be a satisfaction to some people listening that is in their 40s.
Sure. Going,
oh, yes. Or maybe not. Maybe you guys had C-sections and don't pee your pants. And that's so great for you. But what I put for number one was not being able to see the same. You know what I used to do, Ryan? I used to buy those fake glasses because they were so cute.
Yeah, sure.
And I'd wear them around and people would be like, are those real? And of course I'd be like, yes. And they weren't, but I loved how they looked. And now like last night we're in bed. I don't even turn the TV on anymore, but I'm in bed and I'm reading my book and my eyes, they get blurry. They get cross-eyed sometimes. I don't know what is going on. And I even had LASIK. And do you ever have these moments where your eyes go a little funky and they get a little cloudy or something, and then you have to rub your eyes and you're like, it's fine, but it never goes bad. There's nothing in your eye. Your eye's just old.
Yes.
You've had that happen?
No, just a little bit.
On the edge of my seat.
Just a little bit, but I've always had eye problems, so I don't really chalk up that. You know what? It's like the joints. The joints don't come back the way they used to come back after a workout or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those memes where it's like, I woke up today and I didn't know if this is going to be a really quick pain or a pain that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. Right. And that's the thing you worry about now, which I'm dealing with my knee right now.
That's so true. It used to be you were like, all right, you got hurt. Don't worry, you'll be better soon. And now it's like, even though, okay, we're being a little dramatic for early 40s, but I'm just saying this is where you start feeling that pressure of like, what? I got to get a hose in my butt? That's a thing now? Like so many more things that I ever had to think about. Like I'm only 42 and I pee like 3 times a night.
You pee so much. I'm a light sleeper, so you wake me up when you pee, and it is a lot. I don't pee at all during the night, but you pee a lot.
I cannot tell you the last time I went a full night where I did not have to pee multiple times. And please don't write and say I probably have bladder cancer or something, because that'll just send me into a tizzy. So we got that, waking up multiple times to go to the bathroom. Here's one that I don't know if I've always had this problem or if it is getting worse with age, and that's balance.
No, I will interject with this one. You've always had balance issues. I met you when you were 26 and you were falling down then constantly.
I think
within the first couple of weeks that I met you, I watched you walk through a screen door.
It's true. I'm like a swan. I break down things. No, what are you talking about?
You fall down the stairs. You're the reason that we don't replace the carpet on our stairs with wood. You're right. Like, it would look so slick and da-da-da.
I always say, let's rip the carpet out of the stairs and just make it wood, dark wood. How beautiful. But it is true. If I fall down wood stairs, I'll die. I mean, I will not survive a fall that hard. I fall up the stairs all the time, just going up the stairs, and I trip and I fall up. That's like takes incredible special skills. Yeah. But what's scary about that is the older you get, I've seen Murphy fall all the way down the stairs and just pop right back up and want to go play soccer.
Oh my God. I remember so Cooper, who's now 17, was 2 or 3.
Oh yeah.
And I was watching him. You were out doing something and I was still in the boyfriend territory, and we were playing around, and there was something, a ball went to downstairs or something like that. He's probably older. He's probably like 3 or 4, maybe 5. The ball went all the way down the stairs and he went to get it and he fell, and I was going over to grab him. So I just missed him, and I saw him, and he ass over tea kettle, just boom, 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 all the way down the stairs.
It was intense.
And I'm like, oh my God, your mom, I hope you're okay. Your mom's going to kill me, as like all that going through my head as I see him doing it. And it's like 15 stairs, and they're carpeted and whatnot. And he gets to the end and he hits the ground, and we both like pause, and he looks up at me and gives me the thumbs up. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Dude's a trooper. Yeah. But that's what it is when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You fall, and even if you break a bone, like Murphy broke a bone, she was on the monkey bars and fell off, and she broke her arm, and the doctor was talking to us at the hospital when they were setting the arm and all that. And he was like, the arm has already begun growing back together. And I'm like, are you being serious? And he's like, yeah, the minute a kid breaks the arm and then it gets reset where it's supposed to be, it automatically just begins healing that area and growing together. And he said, little kids, they heal so quickly. I mean, don't you think that when you hear about a woman or a man past the age of 80, if they fall and broke their hip, they're going to die?
Yeah, but can I be honest? Like, that's
Hey, everybody. Sadie here, breaking in really quick. Just telling you about my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. Locally owned and operated, family owned and operated, passed down from generation to generation. They've got an amazing rating if you look them up. They've got a great rating with the Better Business Bureau. They are here for the community because they've been in the community for so long. If you want something different with your garage door, don't listen. You can paint your entire house, or maybe just get a different garage door. It will change the entire look of your home, I promise you. And they have technology right now that just can't be beat. You can literally be anywhere in the world and just push a button and it will close your garage door and it will alert you. It will say you're all set. Your home is locked up. Or it'll say, hey, dummy, you forgot to close your garage door. You push a button on your phone, it closes it for you. You're taken care of. You don't even have to get out of bed. How amazing is that? We're in the future, people. Call my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. Garage Door Service and Sales, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
Like more than 50% of the reason that I exercise right now is because I want to be healthy later in life, because that's what people break their hips and shit. They are sedentary, right? They weren't running, they weren't lifting, they weren't doing strength training. And then they get to 74 and step on some water and the hip breaks. Oh my God.
Do you think that
gotta work out?
Do you think that you will be annoyed with me when we are in our 70s and I
100% when I'm way healthier than you?
Yes. I'm just like that weak,
and don't
fresh.
think that I'm not going to have a Corvette and running around and I'm like,
running around?
Your walker can't get in my Corvette. Sorry.
Oh, hell. So you're not going to stay with me during the bad times? All right.
It's like the person that,
no, that sounds so bad. That
doesn't do the group project. You got to do the group project. And the group project now is.
So wait, so if I get sick, you're going to attribute.
Sick is a different thing.
Let me talk.
Sedentary is a different thing.
Oh my God. You are so ridiculous. You know what?
I know.
I hope you take your Corvette and your wrinkly balls and you can drive right out of my life, because my paper bones, we don't need you.
You do have paper bones. You got to do some strength training, sweetheart. You do.
Next on my list, this tops it over strength training. I worry about other things like no longer being able to have dairy or sugar or alcohol. Do you remember a time? Because I sure as hell do. And if there's anything on this list that I want the youngsters to take away, it's that eat and drink to your content. Does that make sense? To your heart's content?
To your heart's content.
And enjoy it. Like if you're over 21, go out with your girlfriends and drink martinis, because the next day you'll wake up and have a McGriddle and you'll feel great. To where one day it will change and you'll kind of ignore it. Well, you'll be like, oh, my stomach hurts, but I drank something I don't usually drink, or I drank too much, or I didn't eat enough. You're going to make about a year and a half's worth of excuses why you can no longer enjoy these things, but it will finally catch up to you when you're ready to admit you have a problem. And I'm not talking about being like an alcoholic. I'm talking about just being able to drink alcohol without having just the worst cramping and diarrhea. And it's just the worst. And no one ever says, hey, you like sour cream? That is so cool. No one says eat the shit out of that sour cream, because guess what? One day you can't eat any of it again. And then number 5 on the blog that I wrote, it's incredibly simple. And it's something that I saw the other day. And I thought it was just first the light shining, and it wasn't. I legit have ear hair. Never even thought that was a thing for ladies, but it is.
We're pretty open with each other.
Does that make you horny?
I know we're pretty open with each other, but on these little, interviews that you do with me, I learned so much. And
yeah,
I think that our relationship could do with some secrecy every once in a while. Like my ear hair.
My ear hair is not a problem.
Or I pee when I stand up.
Murphy's always like, come on the trampoline. And I'm like, no, you made it so I cannot. You should feel sorry for me. But no, she doesn't even care. She just jumps away. So I have this list of things that we could segue into. I did not write this list. This is a list that I found on BuzzFeed. And these are things that have slowly gone away and you kind of miss them sometimes. Okay. So what about this one? What if I say the Pizza Hut sunroom with dark plastic Tiffany hanging lamps over each table. And can you tell me, Ryan, what do the cups at the old school Pizza Hut look like?
Oh, they are red, like almost translucent, like see-through, with a little bit of texture on them to make them grippable.
I'm looking at a picture right now, and you pretty much nailed that.
Yep.
People are saying that Pizza Hut.
Can we just talk about Pizza Hut for a second? How it was the best thing ever when we were kids. You had the Book It program.
I know.
You had the buffet.
Mm-hmm.
You had the glasses, which were great. The Land Before Time animals. They always had good things they came out with.
The toys.
The arcade. They always had a cool arcade. God.
You know what? The next
what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? I don't think I told you this.
What?
I think that I read that the Windsor, which is a town where we live near that, that Pizza Hut is opening the buffet again during lunch.
I'm in. Let's go. What are you doing right now?
I know you love it so much. Next on the list, things that you just don't see anymore. But if you see a picture, you're like, oh, like what I'm doing right now, looking at a picture. Do you remember cigarette machines in like the lobby or waiting area of like restaurants?
Cigarettes were also so. Do you think that's why people look so old, like way back in the day? Like you talk about a 50-year-old person like Cocoon Walter, what is his name? Brimford, Walter, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like him and Paul Rudd are like the same age. And when he did Cocoon and you see Paul Rudd and they're the same age.
Oh, yeah, that's a trip.
Right? Like, do you think cigarettes are why people age so quickly in like the 50s, 60s, 70s?
I think that it has a lot to do, unfortunately, with men and women and the differences in men and women, because I have said it a million times and I will say it a million more times, and it sucks balls, but men look better. You see a man, now I'm not talking in all instances, but in the overall majority, men age so much better, whether they smoke, whether they're in the sun all the time. That just makes them rugged, like Robert Redford. You know, like George Clooney's got gray hair. When you go to being a woman, you can't have any of those things. And so smoking when you're a woman, that will just chalk it up another thing. It's going to make me fugly in about 10 years.
Yeah, but also I think smoking, and if I remember right, like lead in water used to be a thing. So that happened and then they cut that out, or lead in paint or something like that. But I remember there being big lead exposure. And now that they got that out of the system, people are living better, longer lives.
You know what? Something that now is gone, bye-bye, but there used to be indoor smoking sections. Now, Ryan and I both worked in the food industry at one time. And I remember being a hostess and saying, would you like the smoking or the non-smoking section?
They are 2 tables away from each other.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, you're safe. And I remember that. And I remember I loved working in the smoking section of the restaurants because those people were chill and they gave good tips because they were living their best life. They're smoking it down. They just knocked out a Monte Cristo. I worked at Bennigan's and it was my favorite.
Hey, how have we went an episode without talking about Val Kilmer?
Well, because I'm doing this list.
Okay, sorry.
And then we'll talk about Val Kilmer.
Okay.
Don't worry. Do you remember this one? Why am I getting sentimental? And you're like, yeah, it's sad. Kmart, remember they used to have their K Cafe?
Nope. I don't.
Are you serious? Were there no Kmarts in Iowa?
I think there were a couple, but I don't remember them. We didn't go to them a lot.
Okay, well, then I'll skip that one. But let me tell you, you were missing out. It was good stuff. Matches that restaurants would give away. And you could get them by the register next to the mints. And then finally on this list of things it's sad. They're all gone. Like this, McDonald's used to deep fry their pies. And they don't anymore because now we are a healthy, conscious.
Like apple pies?
Yes, they used to. And it would be like crispy and it's hard to explain. Apparently they still do it in Hawaii. They do it here. Anyway, that blog and many others. Well, not that one because I just said that was BuzzFeed, but I've posted a ton of different things at sadieandfriends.net. And I really am excited for these giveaways, Ryan. Now, let's segue over to Val Kilmer. What do you know? What do you got?
We talked about being sad about celebrities, like, I don't know, a couple episodes ago. man, that one sucks. He was in just some epic freaking movies, and he wasn't ever the lead character in those movies that were like epic, but he is the most memorable. Like Tombstone's a top 3 movie of all time. It's freaking fantastic. And I'm sad he's gone. And I was talking to a buddy about this, and he was also sad. He's like, our like people are dying. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about aging, right? To circle back to connect that dot there, but our people are dying. Like we were talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger because we love Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold's 77 years old.
I know, that's super weird to see.
Right?
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, I mean, he wasn't old, but he wasn't young either. He was 65, 66. Yeah.
65, but
But no one said like, oh, it was too tragic. It was too young. Like the Black Panther guy who had cancer and died in the 40s, in his 40s. Right. It was just kind of like, oh, Val Kilmer that finally got him. Like, oh, he's 65.
Well, he had cancer for over a decade.
Yeah.
And he went into remission. He had throat cancer back in 2015. So he went into remission, but then they said that his voice was gone. I mean, it just eviscerated.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the Top Gun movie, The Maverick, he had a role in there where he basically didn't talk or talked extremely little.
Really? Does he talk though?
I think he said like a
bit?
sentence or two.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't much.
Very, very sad. I've been reading about, and I'm going to touch on this a lot more in tomorrow's weekend roundup. And that's where that's brought to you by Christiana Salon Spa. They sponsor that show. It's kind of just something I do on Saturdays because I love pop culture. So it's stories about pop culture. We're going to be talking a little bit more about Val Kilmer. And then I talk about what movies are coming out for the weekend and also music that was trending during the week. And half the time it's like a rapper and it's like, yo, man. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. But again, being old, I'd like to say thank you so much to everyone for listening. Can you believe, Ryan, we've already hit the end of the road?
I can't. Oh my God.
Thanks everybody for listening again. Go. And I know I've said it like 30 times. How annoying. But if you wouldn't mind, go over to sadieandfriends.net and follow on social media where I post very regularly, probably way too much. Probably need to get a life. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Going to give another shout out to an amazing sponsor. They've been with me for so long. It's Christiana Salon Spa. Go to christianasalonspa.com and make that appointment. Whether you want to go in and get a fresh new look, you got to get a fade. I think that's what the kids call it. You want to make sure that your hair looks good. The last time I went into Christiana, it's been too long, but I got my hair colored and it was like this Coca-Cola color. Oh, I loved it so much, but it's starting to kind of wear off. So I'm going to be making another appointment. But if you want a massage, you want a facial, you want to get your nails done, maybe you're planning a girls' day. This is the perfect place for a girls' day. It is bougie inside and out, but it is reasonably priced. And speaking of, mention the podcast, you're going to get 10% off your treatment. So why wouldn't you go check them out? They're in Johnstown, right by the Shields. Christiana Salon Spa, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.